So today on What's Up Guy Garage, we were actually sent an RC car for a review on the channel. I've always been into RC, and guess what? We've got a brand new one to unbox. As a matter of fact, we've got two. The one that we're going to unbox right here is a 1/12 scale, four-wheel drive, brushless rock racer called the Desert Eagle. If you're as interested as I am in seeing what's inside this box, stay tuned for this episode of What's Up Guy Garage. Now let's just bust this thing open. This thing, we're cleaning it all up from that bash that we went on, but let's get to the main subject here. So you can see right there, it's a 2.4 gigahertz four-wheel drive, and that says RTW, which their whole point on that is ready to win, but it's an RTR, ready to race, ready to run, whatever you want to call it. There are the features right there. They're going absolutely nuts. So here's the back side of the box. Just basically just gives you a rundown of what's in the vehicle or what's part of the vehicle. So it has wheels, it has two differentials, it has a clutch, shocks obviously front and rear, brushless motor, electronic speed control which is 45 amp. It's got a all metal gear servo. This thing's actually pretty cool. Let's just bust this thing open, see what's inside. Alright, so inside the box, we've got a controller, and right away, what do you see about that controller right there? So this controller is designed for both a left-handed person or a right-handed individual. So that steering actually slides back and forth, so if you're a left-hand dominant person for, I guess, steering, that's going to work out for you. Or if you're right-hand, like I am, bam. This actually looks a lot like the TRAXXAS remote. So how many batteries does this take? So, it takes 4 AA batteries for the remote control. Power switch. It's got a 50/70 speed selector, so that you can have a more precise throttle feel and less reverse and or brake. We have a steering trim and what looks like a steering range or steering rate on that right there. Then we have power indicator light. Looks like we've got a red and a green light from what I can see inside the holes right there. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. It's a good feeling remote. Once you get the batteries in there, it's going to give it a more solid feel. So, also inside the box, you get a spare tire, which is actually a 100% usable real tire that goes on the back of the RC. So inside the box, we have an instruction manual, pretty thick. Oh, and a tool pack. So you can see it's got a tool pack right there. You have 2 pinions, a tool wrench, looks like 2 Allen wrenches, a key set, and a couple of extra body pins. And I can tell you right now, with the thickness of this manual, guaranteeing that this is one of those RCs that you can actually get all the parts for. And that is important. So we've got, looks like floating inside the package, we actually have the nut for the back wheel to affix it onto the structure of the vehicle. Charger that charges through the actual balance port plug. So that's a wall adapter for that right there. They actually sent me the RC, and what's really cool is that they give you these additional tips about the charger and then not leaving the battery plugged into the charger, because if you do and you're unplugged from the wall, the charger will have a tendency to drain that battery, and then obviously that's no good. So, and then this is what's an after sale guarantee actually from KELIWOW. So that's actually pretty cool. I spoke with them a little about that, and I think, if anything, they actually sent me an email as soon as they realized that I received the vehicle. They sent me an email. So what's really nice about how they boxed up this RC was that they actually put zippy ties all around the suspension to keep this vehicle tight and in its place. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to snip those zippy ties, Looks like we've got one zip tie on the back, two on the front connecting to the actual ladder frame or to the framework of the vehicle, connected to the suspension link. So let's just snip those off. So we're going to get in there with my cutters. We're going to snip the back one first. A little springy. Snip the other side. There we go. It's free. A little springy in the back there, a little bit of a bounce. But once that back tire is on there, which we're going to go ahead and install the back tire now, the wheel is actually held on by a 7mm box and or hex nylock nut. So we'll go ahead and put that wheel on there. So you can see we got a 4-link suspension set up, plastic drive shaft, plastic knuckles, but what I can see is that this thing is full ball bearing all the way around. So all the important components on this are actually ball bearing. On the battery side, it looks like we've got a Dean's connector. I'm going to pop the pin. Sorry, Vector, I'm not talking to you. Pop that battery out. So the battery is a 1500 milliamp, 7.4 lithium ion cell, which is obviously a 2S cell. I'm also noticing that while we've got a Dean's connector right here, this battery compartment is multi-configurable, meaning if you've got a battery that you want to go sideways like this to keep more of a back end weight, you can do that, or you can slide the battery in just the way it was. Independent front suspension. A little bouncy. So in the parts bag, they actually gave us an additional set screw, 2 additional pinion gears, 2 Allen wrenches, 2 45-degree body pins. The 45 is obviously at the end that you pull. A nice little small wrench to go ahead and pull the wheels off or take that spare tire off. So I actually ended up figuring out what the sizes of the Allen wrenches were by obviously using the kit that I've got. So the set screw that's actually on the pinion gear and some of the body panels, so some of these small body panels right here that we're looking at, they actually keep the plastic, body section on, or panels. That's actually a 1.5, whereas some of the suspension, such as this one right here, and some of those are actually a 2mm. So it's actually pretty cool that they give you the tools that you need to break this car down if in fact it does break down. So what that key set is for is if you look at this sticker right here, behind this sticker, you peel that away, you actually have a little section right there where you can take this keyed key, place it into the controller, and you can actually adjust. Right now it's in slow range, so that if you have a new driver, they're not going to be going full blast, and then switch it up, and now you're in high range. So that's actually pretty cool. The only thing, just don't lose those keys. Now let's charge this battery and see what this thing can do. 4 AA's. Now we get the battery installed. Battery's in the remote. Let's plug this in, see what happens. So normally what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put the remote on first, then go ahead and put the car on. And right now, it's looking like it's looking to bind. It's bound. Wow, that's actually some pretty quick steering. Definitely feel that there's a servo saver in there. It had its first crash. it just keeps on ticking. After kind of essentially beating the snot out of it, the only one thing that happened to it throughout that whole bash was the little switch, because it's hot glued down to, you know, a smooth plastic surface. Just the switch itself kind of just came unhot glued. To be honest with you, that is absolutely nothing compared to what that thing was put through. I actually slammed that thing into a wrought iron post at full speed in a jump, and nothing happened. It bounced off, and what it did, it actually took the bird feeder that was on top of it and threw it. I even left the plastic on there. We'll be able to peel that off after doing this bash, but I mean, look at this thing. This thing is actually holding up really well. And so far, I've actually burned 7 batteries worth of charges through this thing with no ill effect. I think that's actually a win. To be honest with you, I'm kind of going to call it on the toy side of hobby grade, because there are a few things that I would like to see as upgrades, but I guess what's cool about something like this is that because you can take so much of this thing apart, you can actually upgrade, like, as you break things. And then doing a search on, you know, the internet, you can actually find additional parts that will fit this thing, which is actually pretty cool. So if you want to go ahead and get oil-filled shocks with a lighter spring, initially I had thought that these were adjustable shocks. It is threaded, but this collar right here is actually smooth. The springs are a little stiff. The way it flew over jumps, I was very surprised. And it landed them almost perfectly every single time. It also has the tendency, because it's a rock racer, it does like to body dive into hard turns. And when you do that, obviously, what do you expect? You expect it's going to tumble. And you saw that in the video. So one of the things that I had also noticed is that I'd say like 7 times out of 10, it would actually land on its wheels. Now, I don't know if that's just because of being skilled in RC. I don't know if that's being skilled in RC or not, or if it's just dumb luck. Hey, Vector, do you approve? You don't know? You don't know either? So this has been kind of a bash review test from What's Up Guy Garage of the 1/12 scale brushless rock racer called the Desert Eagle. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in buying one of those. They are a $150 price range. What the heck are you doing? Trying to kill it? Hey, Vector, I take it you approve. You don't know? That's all right. So anyway, this has been kind of a review and bash test of the 1/12 scale Desert Eagle brushless rock racer. Or have it, you know, tumble so that it righted itself. That doesn't make any sense.